So today we have my brother Kazan, brother since day one. Now a IBF Intercontinental Champion and a WBC National Champion in the fucking house. Thank you, brother, for coming and doing this. From Champ Life, removing little time from Champ Life and coming to the podcast. But bro, I know I've been there since day one of the journey. It's been a sick journey, since the start. You've been training for so long, and finally, like this year was the IBF. No, this last year.
Last year was the IBF.
Last year was the IBF, but the last 2 years has been phenomenal. Like banging both the belts. But in the beginning, it was not like this. No, like I know everyone. I know you, but I want everyone also to know who's Kazaan Talib in terms of where he comes from and how did he find Muay Thai, and then led him to become, make this as a profession. Think like seriously, I want to take this as a profession.
Right.
So I want people to know also.
Yeah. So I started training about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Roughly. When I was 22. I'm 34 now. So the journey when you're starting out, as you know better than most. It doesn't matter where you come from essentially. It's humble beginnings, right? So when you're in the gym, everyone's a white belt on their first day.
Correct.
The equivalent of one at least. Right? So then it doesn't matter whether you come from privilege or not.
That's true.
It doesn't make any difference at that point. So at least starting out, it was...
Like, how did you find martial arts? I never asked you this also, strangely.
I found it in Phuket, Muay Thai. Right? I was on holiday with Chaim, my brother.
Okay. Shout out to Chaim.
So we were in Phuket on holiday for the plan was to be there for a week, maybe 10 days.
Which year was this?
2012.
Okay, so you were in Phuket?
Yeah.
You were in Chalong, the road where all the Phuket Top Team and Tiger Muay Thai and all the main MMA gyms were in 2012.
2012.
Okay.
So yeah, we were there for a week roughly. We were supposed to be there for a week.
Okay.
And we were trying to figure out what to do for a week. So I said, let me just go and try out this boxing shit. And I tried to box for a day. I didn't really like it too much. And then I said, let me try out this Muay Thai stuff here. What is it? Something to do at least.
Yeah.
And I trained. And if I'm not mistaken, it was May 24th, if I remember the exact date. May 24, 2012, when I trained Muay Thai for the first time.
Okay.
And that was it. The training session lasted 2.5 hours. I threw up 3 or 4 times throughout the session. But when it was over, I knew that I was home. It's you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so you
finally find some, this is it.
It's almost like a life's purpose.
Yeah.
You just know you have it. It's lucky. It's very lucky.
You feel blessed.
Alhamdulillah, you don't get it often, if ever.
Yeah.
So, and I found it early on, at least when I was 22. So that's really early. And I knew I had something to devote my life to. And not just 10 years, my life to it. So that's how we started out.
And it changed you completely, like how you were before and in terms of lifestyle, what happened because I would say that's a transition from going from a layman to an athlete.
Yeah.
Where you decided, it's almost like becoming a soldier and being in the armed forces. Like in terms of choosing to be a pro Muay Thai fighter, which is one of the hardest striking sports in the world, like in terms of combat. So, what was the change in your lifestyle? What happened in terms of how you were living before and after finding Muay Thai,
The way I was living before was kind of like a 21, 22-year-old from, I guess, my side of town. Which is a pretty privileged side of town.
Which is that? Where is the side
Cuff
of
Parade.
town? Cuff Parade, yeah.
So it's pretty privileged.
Yeah.
So
the most in Mumbai, I would say. But
it's pretty upmarket, let's call it.
Yeah.
So I was living the typical, in my eyes, when I look at it today, the wastrel life, right? Going nowhere, doing nothing.
Yeah.
You got food on the table, you got roof over your head, you got food.
Yeah.
And you got clothes, you got everything. So you don't really have to work hard.
Yeah.
Right? You can just do whatever you're doing, and you'll basically
Life can go by.
you'll
Yeah.
pass the next 3 or 4 years just as without having to do anything.
Yeah.
And then that life, as easy as it is, it's hollow, and you can't live like that. Which is another thing that's another reason as to why Muay Thai captured
feel alive.
it captured me completely, is because it made me feel like I was going somewhere, like I had a purpose in life. But it's easy to get caught up in the comfort, because comfort is death essentially.
Yeah.
You don't want to be too comfortable. When life is too easy, something's wrong. So yeah, and life was too easy back then, and Muay Thai made life very, very hard.
I'm sure.
So
with the training and all the fucking kicks and during getting, it's hard.
yeah. I mean, the training in and of itself is hard.
Yeah.
And then all the I wouldn't say the sacrifices. I've never believed them to be sacrifices. I've just believed them to be choices. So the choices I made were not easy choices.
Yeah.
Right? Having to travel every single day 3 or 4 hours just to get to training, then train for 3 or 4 hours.
So I remember like you traveling from all the way from Cuff Parade to Borivali and Charkop and Chaitanya's gym, and also Vicky Sir's gym at Evolution, since many years. And to be from, as you said, a privileged background and comfort, to take yourself to that discomfort. Yeah, it's definitely a lifestyle that you chose when you found a sport that you really wanted to do that for. Like, this is what I want to sacrifice all of this and discomfort for that.
Yes. The thing is, like I said, right, it was not really a sacrifice for me. It was just a choice. Because Muay Thai meant and means, and inshallah will keep meaning so much to me, that it's never been a sacrifice.
It's a lifestyle that you chose.
Yeah,
Like,
it
this
was
is
just the way I chose.
I want this lifestyle,
The way I chose to live my life.
Yeah.
I didn't see an option that I found preferable to doing what I was doing. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I love to travel. I hate to travel in general, but I love to travel to training.
Yeah.
It was never a chore for me. I would get into the train, or I would get into the car, drive, whatever, cab, train, car, didn't make a difference. But it was worth it for me because I was getting to do what I loved.
That was your high, basically.
Yeah, that was my high.
Yeah, it's still your high.
It's still
but
my high.
That you found the drug that you want. This is what I want to get hooked to, This drug is basically worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, like, you found Muay Thai, and then of course you trained in Thailand, and then you trained in Mumbai and both these places, but you've also trained abroad. You've trained Dutch kickboxing. You've met in Thailand also. You met different ustads and masters like Namsuk Noy. You've trained there pre-COVID and had all of that knowledge. And now, when did after this you've won both the titles? Like having trained in all these places, and now you're giving back the knowledge also. So like with Balanced Muay Thai in Marine Lines, or would you say?
It's Girgam, Chopati.
Yeah, and it's been 2 years.
2.5 years, yeah.
2.5 years. So what made you choose this in not just a lifestyle and competing and being an athlete, like having winning and just for both the fights, but in WBC it was very I was there, I mean, I was there for both, but for me this was like, okay, this fight, everything was going wrong, like in terms of all the conditions that were there, and I wouldn't want to name like what the conditions were, but everything was going wrong, like against the fight really taking place. Like the fight was not about to take place. In fact, it was also like because there was some technically default in the venue, and there were times where you were also slipping, and the fight they wanted to stop it because of
the rain.
Because of the rain and technical faults and everything.
Yes.
But you didn't let them stop, and you kept on going, and you won it.
I was literally pleading with the promoters. In fact, I remember at one point you actually shouted at me from the corner, saying, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to talk to your opponent." Because I remember actually going to him at the end of the first round and saying, "Whatever happens, continue fighting." Right? I know we're both slipping. I know it's uncomfortable. Half the ring is wet.
Yeah.
So I know it's not the ideal conditions for a fight, but what the hell are the ideal conditions for a fight? It's a fight.
Correct.
It's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd rather slip than get kicked in the head.
Yeah.
So let me slip then.
Yeah.
It's worth it That's why I remember going up to him and just saying, fight. Whatever happens, fight. And he kind of went, but I just said, whatever happens, we need to fight. We both.
No, it was a tough fight because I was like, fuck, your leg was also busted up a little bit. Like,
Towards the
little bit.
end.
Not busted up, I wouldn't say, but it became a little, like scars. And you were really like out Muay Thaiing him, But it wasn't close. It was nowhere close because you TKO'd him. But as like
KO'd.
KO'd him. But
Yeah.
so as a cornerman, I was shit scared. That's why I was like screaming and doing all those things because I was scared genuinely. It's not like I didn't believe this that, but yeah, it was one sided. So I think maybe if we can pull off the fight video, we can see I had a clip in my phone which I asked to shoot. This is this year, no?
This was this year. This is
There's no volume. There's
final round.
yeah, little volume because you can hear us screaming mostly. Little lesser. Yeah. So you're a southpaw also. A lot of people who don't know striking, like there are very less southpaw.
So you see that check?
Yeah.
That was the first one. That one got him.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that there is very less southpaw strikers in the world and let alone in India.
Yeah.
So this whole fucking ring was wet on the other side.
The whole right side is wet.
Yeah. It's just fighting.
So he was just swinging a lot, this boy.
Yeah. No, but he was good.
Yeah, he was aggressive.
He was aggressive. I mean, he was throwing. I forgot the weight category. Is 50.
55.3.
55.3. Okay.
Super bantamweight.
Super bantamweight. Yeah. Yeah. So he's already limping.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. See, he got
That's the one.
fucked.
That's
Oh
the one.
shit.
Yeah, his shin cracked if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we little bit go behind and just check the check
Yeah,
part?
about here should be fine.
Little there. Wait. I want to see when the. Oh, not this.
No, it's later.
He's kicking on your knee. He shouldn't be doing that, no? He's wanting to kick your inner thighs, but you're checking it and the
I
knees.
check again.
So you realize he's doing that.
I pointed at him as well.
Yeah.
And that's when it hurt him.
This was a very underground venue somehow. The location wasn't prime. There were a lot of people wanted to come, but the location was so underground. And it was raining so heavily that day. But the show still happened and you guys still fought. It was about to get cancelled, the show.
Yeah, this is the fight should end. I'll tell you about when. So I land a low kick there. Now this is when the fight ends. There.
Oh.
Yeah, this was a mistake. If you just pause that for a second,
If you go.
the referee should
Little
never
bit
have stopped. Yeah, you can stop here. That's fine. So if you see after the check, right, the referee should not have stopped the fight. He should not have been here.
Correct.
He should have let him continue. He should have let him get KO'd if need be, but he should not have stopped the fight.
Okay.
It was a doctor's responsibility to stop the fight, not his. And the thing is, if you notice, the count it goes all the way to 10, and then he gives him more time to recover. You see this?
Yeah.
The 10's over. Then he goes and looks to his corner. If you watch this for a second, now he goes and looks to his corner. And he's still questioning, why is he talking to his corner? This should be over.
Hey, that's you screaming at me.
At you. Yeah.
Yay! Fucking hell. That's Janmeet. Janmeet. Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Hey.
That's it.
Okay. Sick, bro.
Thanks, bro.
And then, fuck. So this was very recent.
May.
This was May this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, what I also wanted to say that why you taking this pain? Like, what is making you take this pain? Like, of going into a fight? Because this is not a desk job where you sit like nicely and you earn your just sit like earn money in easy way. You're but choosing something where even the business that you have, it's amazing. It's also South Mumbai is like pioneering Muay Thai gym, you know, and legacy is there. I can already see it with two belts holding. Very few people in Mumbai have these belts. India, sorry.
Nobody has both.
Yeah.
With all
Nobody has both.
respect,
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
has both.
But in just belts, like in terms of the ones people who've excelled, like pro athletes who've
Yeah,
excelled,
yeah.
very few athletes have like fought,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
got an opportunity to fight for internet, like represent India and everything. So
So
what was your like motivation to keep going on, basically?
because see when it comes to my own personal dream and my own purpose,
Yeah.
I know I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
Right? I'm 34, but I'm a very young 34.
Yeah.
Right? My body is not a 34-year-old.
Yeah.
By
Fast kicks.
God's grace, it's not.
I felt it. You have fast kicks.
Yeah, so I know I have way more. I have a few more years in me, easy at the highest level. So this is a national title. This is an intercontinental. So let's call it an Asia title.
Yeah.
But it's not the world title yet.
Yeah.
I still don't have that. That was my dream.
Yeah.
Right? I will do everything I can to achieve that.
So your future goal, like,
Is the world
to
championship,
know is
inshallah.
world
Yes.
championship. When would it you be like, okay, this is enough? When would
I'll
it
think about it after a world title. After I win that world title, God willing, then I will think about it.
Okay.
But till then, I won't contemplate it unless, of course, I get to a point where I know I'm physically done.
Okay.
I'm not a stupid guy. I know when my body can't keep up. I know I'll know when my body is not reacting or responding the way it used to. When my recovery is when it used to be a week, now it's a month. I'll know that I'm slowing down drastically. When I'm not the fastest guy in the gym, then I'll know things are a problem.
The motivation, like, in terms of
Yeah.
when will you say that this is enough?
No, so as of this moment at least, I'm not even close to that.
Okay.
I'm still, at least at my weight class, I'm still the fastest guy out there.
Yeah.
I'm probably the most experienced guy out there as well, barring a few guys in the world. I mean, you can think of Rod Tang and Takeru and stuff like that, but I believe I can compete with them and beat them as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, as a fighter, we need that belief. And
Yeah.
like, only belief is gonna lead us to be in the place where if you didn't have belief, you wouldn't have been a fighter. So I mean, of course, like, if you get into and become a pro fighter like you have to have that belief. Otherwise, like, you cannot be in this business.
No way. Not successfully at least.
Not successfully. Like, I mean, if you're not believing that you can beat the best, then don't be in this business.
True.
So you're also like not just like in India, but definitely pioneer in South Mumbai. Not just now I can say not just Muay Thai, but also kickboxing. Like kickboxing and so how do you feel about that? Like being the pioneer in South Mumbai. I mean, being a pioneer Mumbai only, I would say, but specifically South Mumbai.
So
Because there's in Mumbai, you see the burbs, in the suburbs, you have a lot of fighters who've come out.
yeah,
You have in striking, there are many fighters. You have Bala Shetty in Muay Thai, you have Manthan Rane in Muay Thai. These two have been in the burbs. I have been there.
Yeah.
Mehul Singh has been there, like in
Yeah.
but in South Mumbai, you've been doing it since way before.
yeah.
And you've we've mentioned with Bala sir also telling you, like, in terms of that, how you've been always there. There's no
Yeah.
one been there as soon as you go to
Yeah.
South Mumbai. So how do you feel like?
So the thing is with South Bombay, of course, the
You don't expect, sorry, I mean, you don't expect to come, a pro fighter to come out of South Mumbai,
Yeah, you
giving the luxury.
yeah, and given the luxury, given the history,
Yeah,
the best fighters have not come out of South Mumbai for sure,
yeah,
right? Well, up until a year and a half ago,
yes,
but now the best fighter has come out of South Mumbai. So,
yeah.
but yeah, sorry to be a little bit of an ass, but yeah.
No, but
But you get my drift. It's you're right about that. It's not a place that's known for it. But it's a weird thing because ever since I opened the gym, the talent level in South Mumbai is very high, very very high. The talking about kickboxing, the K1 national champion
yeah,
is Vihan Shah, right? 65 kilo, a national
He's your
champion.
student, yeah.
Yeah, so, beg your pardon, 60 kilo national champion. He's my student.
Yeah.
Right? This is a kid from Valkeshwar, right, who came out of Valkeshwar. He went to the same school I went to. He was in the first grade when I was in the 10th.
Yeah.
Right? He's 10 years younger than me, roughly. Came out the same place that I came out of, but he's a national champion. He beat guys from Chhattisgarh, Assam. He fought everybody. 4 fights to become national champion, and he won all 4 of them, all 4 by KO.
Amazing.
Right? And that's.
So that was Coach Kazan.
But it was Vihan. He's the guy in there doing the work.
Yeah.
I'm teaching him what I know. I mean, I can teach anybody what I know.
But it's still a second phase, no? You went from a student to a teacher. And how was that phase? And that phase you've given few champions in a very short time, So definitely you're a good teacher, because otherwise you wouldn't have given. I mean, the ones who really wanted to fight, they fought and you taught them and you led them to a championship. And there are, of course, a lot of people who just want to do it for a lifestyle and,
Of course.
So how's that like, opening the gym and having...
It's a bit of a difficult transition. I would love to say it was seamless for me. It was very easy, but no, it's a little bit hard to put away the fighter and almost put the fighter to rest for a bit and then bring out the teacher, because they're almost two polar opposites.
Yeah.
A fighter needs to be selfish. You need to be selfish with your time, with your training, with everything.
Yeah.
Because what you're about to do is not going to be easy. And the preparation is going to be miserable for the next 2 months. At the end of the 2 months, your gift, your present is you get into a ring and fight another guy.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what you look forward to. So it requires a lot of selfishness. But as a teacher, it's the exact opposite. You can't be. If you are selfish with your time as a teacher, you're done. You won't forget building a champion and stuff like that. You won't have a business. You won't have a gym. You won't have students. Right? So you need to let go of that fighter. So that's the tricky bit for me. So when I'm preparing for a fight, I tend to just
get away
from the classes, get away from the teaching, and even the students, not in a bad way, just because I know I need to zone in on the fight. And if I'm focused on 10 or 12 students a day, there's no way I can focus on my training and my preparation. Especially in a 2-month camp, it's very easy to get distracted. Both of these fights were short notice fights. One was like 15 days, one was 2 weeks. So it's easy to zone in, and then before you know it, it's weigh in and fight.
Yeah.
Right? But in a 2-month camp, it's very easy to get distracted, very easy to drift, very easy to focus on a student, one student's problems, one student's weight loss, one student's fight preparation, one student has this and that. It's very easy to get lost in there. So as a result, then because you're getting lost you're all over the place, you don't know what to devote your energy to. So you devote 25% to everything.
Yeah.
As a result, when you fight 25%.
Yeah.
Which is, as you know, you can't fight at 25%.
Just get fucked.
Yeah, you're going to get screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been like a roller coaster in terms of emotions, and also like getting to know yourself, because being a fighter is one thing, and then also being a teacher, you get to know a different side of yourself. You never knew like you were such a giver, like in terms of giving back knowledge and being so patient with another human being.
True.
Because I know you're a introvert.
Yeah.
And you don't like people. like me, I also like like a lot of people, but in terms of
I like you
what
enough,
mean.
it's fine.
That's what matters. But having a student and spending so much time with another person, being so intimate with the person during fight and fight camps, is very emotional. They tell you everything, and you're almost like a father.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but in some way, after some time, like for example, when you're taking a fighter to the fight, you're almost like that. If he's fighting for the first time, that's like you're taking the child to the swimming pool to swim.
Yeah, I get you.
Because I've been there in that position. And Bala Shetty was like that guy for me in terms of, and Chaitanya Gavli and, all these guys were there for MMA and everything. And I felt that, the same thing, how they act like father figures. So as a student, I felt it. So as a teacher also, it must have been amazing, no?
Yeah, it's amazing because
Fighting and coaching together.
Yeah, in a way, because you are shaping someone's life, right?
Yeah.
You're giving them the gift that I was given.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, you're maybe not giving it to them, but I'm passing it on.
Yeah.
I was given a gift. Muay Thai saved my life.
Correct.
You know,
You
or
kept-
if it didn't save my life, it changed my life drastically for the better. You know, so I mean, I think Islam saved my life, but Muay Thai changed my life. It gave me something to live for at a time when I was drifting. It's not like I was going downhill or something. I was just drifting. I was going nowhere. You know, I was going nowhere really, really fast. I was just going in a circle. And Muay Thai gave me that. It gave me a purpose. So when you see a kid who walks into the gym and he, like, for example, Vihan, who I walked into the gym with no
intention or
no
anything.
intentions, no background. I mean, he had a very minor taekwondo sort of background. But I mean, honestly, with all due respect to taekwondo, what is a taekwondo background? It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
You know,
the
it's kind of like
background.
karate. You know, it doesn't mean shit. You know?
Fucking every time this happens. Like,
Yeah, so, and he came in with that, and this
Every
guy
time.
went from that and devoted himself. I mean, the work was his. I would say 80% of it was his, 20% of it was mine.
Okay.
But that work was his, and he eventually went from that to being a kickboxing national champion. And if you're any kind of martial artist in the world, then you know that kickboxing is not easy.
Yeah,
it's
it's
tough.
tough.
It's tough. I would say
Kickboxing and Muay Thai, they like kickboxing. I'm sorry, just kickboxing and Muay Thai. They both are the two like
yeah, brutal, man.
yeah, like there's no other brutal sport in combat in striking which is as brutal as kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Yeah,
Because
and Lethwei.
the amount of Lethwei, but not commercially, like not it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, of
practiced
course,
everywhere, so the competition is not so high. Like
True.
you know, the kickboxing and Muay Thai, there are so many countries in the world who are competing, and
Yeah.
that's also the base for like MMA. So there's more people who are not even competing Muay Thai but training in MMA. They are also training. So the amount of talent you would have to face is not
Much
like a
higher.
cricket where you have 8 countries or 16 countries playing.
True.
You know, like you see in amateur kickboxing and Muay Thai, you have like 50-60 countries.
Yes.
And professional, you see countries from everywhere, like
All
our
over.
favorite fighters, you know.
Yeah.
They are Dutch, they are Thai,
Moroccan.
they are Moroccan, you know, and Brazil, from, you know, from
Pereira.
So there are different places that we've always adored these places
Yeah.
and been inspired. So yeah, I think in terms of no disrespect to Taekwondo and everything, but
No. I didn't mean it like
kickboxing
that.
and
But
Muay Thai, if you train,
It's a
then
different
you know
level.
what the fuck is going on, you know, and especially if you get to spar with someone, you know, that's one lesson. I think if you could host sparring sessions in South Mumbai, just for all the people, just to toughen up a little bit, and you are the gatekeeper, and just be like host, like, you know, fight clubs and everything, that will be dope.
yeah, we do sparring at my gym,
Okay.
which is basically once a week.
Because you need a coach like you, because if like a coach, someone who could tame everyone, you know, like if so you it's not some place where someone who cannot control the situation then lead someone like fighting each other and then you cannot stop them. You need someone dangerous that can, you know, kick 2 people in one kicks and be like, yo.
I get you.
So that's
It's someone to keep the peace, so to speak.
yeah, and that's why only like when people like you, and that's why in every place, like even when we were sparring and we had Vicky sir and Chaitanya sir
Chai, yeah.
and all these people, they would control on the temperament of others so that we
course,
don't
of
kill
course.
each other, you know, in sparring. So, but I think you should definitely do it like South
Yeah,
Mumbai,
we
fucking
do
hell.
it at the gym,
Okay.
but it's only my students. So
You should give an open environment, like fucking let everyone go for it, like fuck it.
baby steps. Let's
No?
start with the gym first. Let's get the students going.
People will come in their rollies and their jags and everything. They're like, cuz I heard that you're doing like a fight night, you know, I just want to vent, like I can't sleep, like fucking hell.
People in South Mumbai are not that rich. They don't roll
No?
around in Jaguars and Rolls Royces. It's not Dubai.
No?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, so sparring happens in the gym.
okay, sparring happens
It's
in
good.
the gym.
It's very controlled.
Yeah.
Right? It made the primary tool in sparring, as you and I know, because we've sparred hundreds of rounds together. The primary tool, the primary goal is to learn,
correct.
not to hurt.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's counterproductive.
Yeah.
You'll have a sparring partner for a day, but then you won't have one for 2 weeks if you keep looking to hurt people. So over the course of a training camp, you'll get 4 or 5 sparring sessions, and that'll be that. Because you're constantly going around hurting people.
Yeah.
Right? And eventually you'll get hurt in the process. It's always going to come around to you.
Yeah.
So sparring needs to be controlled. I always believe that with sparring,
Yeah.
needs to be something that you can do 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Can you do it 3 times a week? If you can, you're doing it correctly.
Yeah.
If you can't do it 3-4 times a week, you're doing it all wrong.
Yeah.
right? Because you cannot fight without sparring. It's very hard to. Your timing is completely off. So, because your timing is off, you're obviously not going to fight well. You know, not to mention the ring rust and stuff like that. All the intangibles, right? Especially things like ring rust, which you can't really measure.
Yeah.
It's just you just suddenly have it. When you're in the ring, you suddenly know you can't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
That goes with sparring. You eliminate that ring rust problem if you spar enough. Right? So sparring has been established to be very, very important in preparation for a fight.
Yeah.
So you need to do countless rounds. 20, 30, 40, 50, hundreds of rounds before a fight. You can't do that if you're going around hurting each other. Because if I'm trying to hurt you in sparring, you're trying to hurt me, obviously. You're not going to sit there like a pussycat and just take my shots and not give something back.
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna respond.
especially you, you're 20, 25 kilos heavier than me.
Yeah.
If I hit you hard, you're going to hit me much harder than I hit you.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be much worse off.
Correct.
Right? Which means I'm not going to have any more sparring till the fight because
Yeah, so
I'm
we gotta
injured.
go sabai my pen right.
Exactly, my friend. You know, you have to know how to spar. But
Yeah.
that comes with practice.
Correct.
That comes with training, with experience.
Yeah, and I think you're like one of the few people in India who've all like had international experience. So I want to ask you about like a little detail, not detail, but in terms of how was your experience with whom in Thailand and in Netherlands, Amsterdam, basically for Dutch kickboxing and Thai boxing. And which places you recommend also if people want to go, like in terms of if they want to follow your footsteps, right? Like, and if they want to go and they want to train both these places, what do you recommend?
I would say
As an Indian, you know?
Yeah, I would say when it comes to good teachers,
Yeah.
right? Some of the best teachers that I've had. I mean, one is Lamsong Kram Chuatana.
Where is this?
Lamsong Kram is the coach, is the fighter.
Oh,
you've seen Lamsong Kram for
Lam
sure.
from AK, the tall guy.
He was in AK. Before that, he was in Tiger.
Okay.
So when I was a Tiger, Lamsong Kram was a Tiger.
Okay.
Then he
The
moved
huge
to AK
tall
and
guy
then-
with the big knees and all.
with the goatee and
Yeah.
the long hair.
So Lam.
And Lamsong Kram was a WMC world champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah. Plus, I think he was one of the big stadium champions as well.
So
Either
where is he
Lumpini or
right
Raja Damnan. I'm not sure where Lam is now.
Okay.
But Lamsong Kram is someone you can check out.
And then?
Pizit Kambang. Pizit
Okay.
is in Hua Hin.
Okay.
I'd say Jaopo Muay Thai. So he's amazing.
These are the twins. Beautiful Muay Thai.
Yeah, the twins. Pizit and I can't remember his brother's name. But Pizit. Yeah, I'll remember his brother's name at some point.
Pisit. Can we search for Pisit? P-S-I.
Pisit.
Pisit. I love his style.
If you look at Instagram or something, you should find him.
No, YouTube, I think we'll find him, no?
I'm sure.
Pisit.
So the guy on the right is Pizit.
Okay. Love him.
Very, very good coach.
Yeah.
Very, very good teacher.
Sit Japao.
Si Jaopo.
Sit Jaopo.
Yeah.
Super technical. Muay Fima.
Muay
He's- The twins. He's your favorite right now?
Yeah, favorite ever is Samarth.
Favorite ever is Samar Paikrun.
Always Samarth.
Okay.
I believe Samarth is still the greatest to ever fight.
हाँ.
By far.
So, can we put this उसका नाम मैंने पहली बार सुना था. I was like Samrat Paikrun. Wow.
Samart.
I've also highlights. I've also got the opportunity to train with him.
Yeah, so
Personal training in Bangkok.
yeah, SAMAR. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah. Highlights. Yeah. He's one of my favorites also.
So this guy, I still think he's the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Sancha. I think he's better than Namsak. I think he's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still.
Best of all time, huh?
Yeah, the
Greatest of all time.
In Muay Thai for sure.
Okay. This is Samar Paikrun. Southpaw legend.
Yeah.
No, but he used to fight both the stances, no?
He used to switch a lot.
Crazy thief. So when I met him, he was telling me that, how you have to keep such small stances, like not keep such a wide stance. And then for the first time, he was telling me, okay, appreciating the fact that I can switch stances. Like I can do left and right. So he was like, it's fine. Wow, it's amazing. This is how you're supposed to learn left and right.
Yes.
Whereas traditionally in the country, we were taught not to switch stances and be in one stance. But tremendous boxing.
Tremendous boxing to the point where he was WBC world champion in boxing.
Yeah.
Not in Muay Thai, in boxing.
Okay.
Which is unheard of for a Thai.
I think he defeated a Mexican guy.
I think so. I'm not sure though. I
Yeah, no,
could be wrong about
it's
this.
definitely Shorty, definitely the Mexican guy.
So for a Thai to be a world champion in boxing is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
It's pretty much unheard of, except for Samarth. I've never heard of any other Thai who did it. I'm sure there are, but I've never heard of it.
When I went there, Max Holloway's full team was there,
Yeah.
and his coach Ivan Flores was there. So I got
Yeah.
to train with them also, and they were training there, and they thought as Samarth as a guru, and you can understand how Max Holloway's most of the style comes from. I mean, inspiration. I wouldn't say style, but inspiration, and not so much, but in terms of like knowing the fundamentals so that he doesn't get the damage. You need to know Muay Thai not to take damage also. If like Max Holloway's boxing is what he uses,
Yeah.
but he knows Muay Thai where he can check and evade to not
Yeah,
get
to a
fucked
degree.
up.
To a degree, yeah.
Like in the Alexander fight, we seen like how in the second, third fight he was answering with the low kicks.
Yes.
It was a close fight. You could
Yes,
see that he's
definitely.
done his homework.
Yeah.
So I think Samarth Paikroon is one of the bigger reason that he used to spend the camp in, and he learned the fundamentals. Kazan, so what do you think about Islam and your connection with fighting? Like, has it impacted the way? Because I know Muay Thai, we know like your relation with Muay Thai, but have you found religion early in your life or late in your life, and how's it helped you grow as a human being?
I found religion very late.
Okay.
Very late. But, I genuinely believe Allah is the best of planners. I think it was planned. It was destined for me to find religion so late.
Yeah.
I think if I had found it 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I would not have understood the value of Islam. You need to have a brain to understand the value of faith. As much as people like to think faith is all here, it's not just all here, it's also here. You need to be able to understand.
Yeah.
So I found Islam, I genuinely believe, at the right time. I found Allah at the right time. With respect to how it helps me in Muay Thai and fighting in general, fighting is, you would know better than most, fighting is about discipline.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have it, anything, if you want to be good at anything, you need discipline. But fighting more than most things, I would think, because your life is on the line. If you have a bad day at the office, you had a bad day at the office. Happens.
Yeah.
You get to go home. You don't have broken bones. At most you lose a little bit of money.
Yeah.
You can make that money back. It's hard to heal those broken bones.
Correct.
It's almost impossible to regain brain cells, especially once they're lost. So that affects. So discipline is vital in training. But more than in training, in Islam, discipline is the most important thing. Because to pray 5 times a day, if you don't have discipline, you won't do it.
Yeah.
You won't do it. And I know it took me today, Alhamdulillah, I pray 5 times a day, but I know I tried for months, if not years, to pray 5 times a day, and I couldn't.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Oh yeah, it's a journey, just like in Muay Thai, right? Except this is, I believe, is a more important journey. But because this is a journey to Jannah, so this is the most important journey any man, any Muslim can have. So yeah, but discipline is the most important thing. And with discipline, it's like Jocko Willink's book. Obviously, you know who Jocko Willink is, I'm sure. Discipline equals freedom.
Yeah.
Right? With discipline comes freedom. Freedom from all sorts of things. Freedom from temptation, freedom from addiction, freedom from the constraints of society, social norms, how they want you to live. With discipline comes the way you would like to live, or the way God intended for us to live. But that only comes with discipline.
Yeah.
And Islam is a religion of faith, more than a religion, it's a faith. It's a way of life. It's not something you do on the weekend.
Yeah.
Either you are Muslim or you are not. That's the beauty of it. And it helps you massively, at least helps me massively for a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that peace of mind you get from just putting your head down for sujood, because you're knowing you're one with Allah, and that's it. Then the opponent does not matter, the event does not matter, the crowd, the pressure, all of that disappears.
Yeah.
Because you're close to God. Then what else is more important than that?
Yeah, I feel this is like your way of, in terms of meditation, it's very close. Like in terms of the practice itself of namaz is very meditative. In terms of it's like a, something very close to very asanas and Nothing to compare, but like in terms of the feelings that they get of bliss is quite similar.
Yeah.
You know, like how you feel after a namaz and how a person feels after a meditation in different faiths.
Yes.
So I think that's what's balancing your yin and yang also, you know, and that's what's calming yourself, because before this there was so much energy that we were training and fighting, but until you found, because before you found Islam, you like uh, were not like, you know, it's different, right? You cannot say no to a lot of things.
Yeah.
There's less discipline to
Way
like,
less discipline.
yeah,
Way
to say
less
yes for everything, and you
Of
know,
course.
and being more like not disciplined, being more wild
Of
and
course.
being
Of
this that.
course.
But this helps you to center your energies and, you know, like put your energies in good use and to the right use, rather than, because we both know like how when we both were young, like,
Oh
you know,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a crazy thing, but when I got here,
yeah,
I remember you when I sat down. You said, "Do you want a beer?" And a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have said yes for sure.
yeah,
You know, today I can't even imagine it.
correct,
You know, I won't go near that filth.
yeah,
You know, but back then it was so normal.
yeah,
To, you know, do a podcast. Why? But today I can't even imagine doing it. You know, and that would not have happened without Islam.
yeah,
That did not happen because of Muay Thai. As much as I love Muay Thai, it didn't. You know, so that the journey towards becoming a better person, towards becoming more complete, that next
found
step,
from
that next step was Islam.
okay,
And to me, it's the big step, the final step. Yeah,
like in terms of
life.
life,
Like,
in
it's a way of
general.
life.
Correct.
You know, you don't need anything else. It is enough.
But I'm really happy because I remember, like, you know, very beautiful memories, so many memories of
Yeah.
us like having a very nice time. I mean, we still have a nice time, but you know, back then it was a little more wilder
Yeah,
and just like, you
little
know,
less sober.
little very less sober.
Yeah, especially me.
Yeah, way less sober.
Way less sober.
Oh my God, the things that we've done. But yeah, like to see slowly giving up desires and, you know, having the power to say no is a superpower, I feel.
Yeah.
And it takes a warrior to say no, because it's very easy to say yes to desires and temptations, but it's very hard to give. So it's not like it's martial arts was your gateway also to all of this. You know, I think if Islam is greater purpose in martial arts, but martial arts led you to Islam.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
because you were a wild beast before that, like energy everywhere, but
Yeah.
that like put you down and, you know, focus you and to go to like whether truth is,
Yes.
you know, for truth for you, truth for everyone is different, but for you, you found the truth
This
there.
was my truth in
Yes,
life.
and I think it was a gateway.
Definitely.
You know,
It was the stepping stone.
it was a stepping stone, and you know, and then that is also in way reflecting back on your martial arts. You keep
Yeah.
getting, you're not thinking about whether losing or like winning or
No.
losing, because you're leaving everything to God, and I think it's a very big quality to have.
Yeah.
Not focusing on the losses and everything, you know.
Not even the wins.
Yeah.
You know.
Even in life, like, oh, my gym is getting fucked up and there's no business, and, you know, always putting, you
Yeah.
know, because I remember in COVID, the gym was shut, but, you know, like, I was asking you, like, what the fuck, like, you know, how, you know, it was a very tough time, but you didn't give up, and the gym
No,
is,
no.
you know, so, I mean, it's just amazing what martial arts has done for us,
Yes, brother.
you
For
know.
sure.
And yes, bro.
Hmm.
What's next?
World title is next.
World title.
World title
So
is
for
next
sure, world
for
title is-
me. But
Yeah.
what's next for the immediate future is, I personally believe, your fight. I think that's more important at this point in time than mine, because I genuinely believe I've always believed. I think you are the same. We've been on this journey together. Yeah. So this journey is us together. So I don't think that this journey is complete if I have my belts and then I don't give a hoot what you're up to. You know, you need to have your belts also.
Yeah. So how do you feel like being? Do you plan something? And
Definitely.
I know we want to fight. And
Yeah, see, if you want to fight, then definitely we'll look to do it. But my priority, especially when it comes to events in town, is not to fight, is to put on events
promote.
and to show people in that side of Mumbai that fighting is, it's not fun and entertaining, it is the most fun. It is the most entertaining. There is no sport I've seen that comes close. Football is the only thing I can think of that comes close. But that to me is also a preference thing. But fighting is one of those things, it's genuinely one of those things that you can, anybody will look twice at a fight. You know, even if you don't want to, even if you're not interested in a fight, you will still look at it twice. But it's easy to look at a cricket match on TV, and just walk on. You know, but fights are not like that. And people in South Mumbai are not aware of the fight game and the fight, well, not the fight business, but the fight game and fighting in general. You know, that's building a little bit with my gym, but it's something that I can specifically work on. And
I mean, there's no one else who can do it. It's just you. So I mean,
at this point, yeah, I think so.
yeah. So
At
I
least
mean,
with the
it's
knowledge
better.
and the
Yeah,
experience.
and with the resources as well. So I mean, you better do it. I mean, because everyone needs it.
Yeah,
You know, like it's high time. You know,
definitely.
And but do you disassociate yourself with other people in South Mumbai, because you know it's a whole different world. I mean, we know, like, as people from suburbs, you've come all the way to suburbs to shoot this podcast as well. You've seen, like, it's a different world. There's rickshaws here. So like,
Yeah.
you know, do you disassociate yourself with a lot of people around you? Because although you come from a privileged background, but do you say that, oh fuck, you know, I'm a fighter, I can knock these 10-15 people out, like, or just like, oh, I'm putting myself through the grind when no one is, you
No,
know?
see, I don't.
I don't know, like, in
I
terms
don't
of
disassociate myself with anybody.
from your surroundings.
No,
you know?
no. It's just that when it comes to putting on events and a promotion, I have a vision, and I believe my vision is the correct one. You know,
But
so I
as-
don't
as
want
a-
to. Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
I'm not willing to. I'm willing to compromise up to a point with my vision, but not very much, if I'm being completely honest. Because I know what the fights are supposed to look like. I know what an event is supposed to look like. You know, because I've been in enough events, I've watched enough events, I've fought in enough events to know what a fight's supposed to look like. I know what will appeal to certain groups of people. I'm not good at marketing. I'm not good at all that stuff, but I do know what sells when it comes to a fight. And the thing that sells when it comes to fighting is the fights.
Yeah.
Put on the best fights. Give people what they really want, which is to watch good fights, not to watch all the other drama that goes with it. A lot of fights you see, especially with the new age, with these YouTube boxers and all that stuff, you got these hip hop guys and all that, the DJ and this and then some dancer and some nonsense is always going on. Great, you can do that, but it's a stopgap.
Correct.
It'll go for 2 or 3 years. It'll sell for 2 or 3 years. It sold brilliantly during COVID when there was no other sport on TV.
It's not Tavanchai, it's not Rotterdam, it's not a career.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you've paid $70-$80 to watch a pay-per-view. You've not paid to watch bloody Miley Cyrus sing a song. You've paid to watch two people fight.
Yeah.
So that stuff will sell for a bit because it's entertainment, right? But after a while, it'll stop. And you're seeing it right now with the YouTube boxing thing. Their ratings are tanking. Their pay-per-view numbers are awful, god awful. I think Jake Paul had a pay-per-view. It was not the last one. It was 2 or 3 pay-per-views prior. It was 75,000 pay-per-views.
Yeah.
75,000.
I don't know, I don't follow that, but
Yeah. To think about it like this, if McGregor fights, it's 1.6 to 2.2 million minimum is what he's going to sell. Million pay-per-view buys. Jake Paul sold 75,000. He couldn't even crack 100 grand.
yeah.
That shows you that this YouTube boxing sort of stuff, it won't sell. That entertainment outside of fighting won't sell. Because at the end of the day, you promise the public something. Right? The minute you change that, you lose them. Right? You promise them a fight. You promise them 3 or 4 or 5 great fights. Now suddenly you give them one great fight, but 3 songs.
Yeah.
That's not what they paid for. As great as the songs might be and as good as the artist might be, that's not what they paid for.
Yeah.
So I believe that fighting first, especially in South Bombay needs to be about fighting.
Yeah.
You need to show them the beauty in the martial art.
But you think, like, since you've grown up there, you think, like I was asking, in terms of you being a little different from the people around there, because I mean, I don't know any other fighter who's from that side of town, you know, in terms of
Yeah.
pro fighting. So do you think people are really ready for it, and do you also associate yourself with them? Like, you feel like, okay, I can mix with them,
100%.
Yeah?
100%. They're ready for it. I know most of the people I've spoken to, when they ask me, what do you do? 'Cause that's a very common question to ask someone. What do you do? I've told them I'm a professional fighter. I'm a Muay Thai fighter. I'm a gym owner. Whatever. Martial arts gym owner. I'm a teacher, fighter, whatever. It's always, really? How is it like? What's it like? It's never, oh, why did you do that? It's never that. You might think that's what the reaction that you might think that's the reaction I get, but it's not. It's interest. It's genuine interest. People want to know more.
Okay.
You know, and I see what happens at my gym. I see how many people come to my gym. These are all townies, just like me. They're all interested in it. Nobody comes there to faff around. They might come there for the quote unquote fitness and weight loss. And within a week or 2 weeks or a month, they've changed.
Correct.
And they now care about the martial arts.
Convert now.
Yeah, they're a revert. They want to know about the martial arts because it's primal.
Yeah.
It's our reptilian brain. We all, especially as men, we all want to know how to defend ourselves. We all want to know how to protect. We all want to know, as mean as it might sound, we all want to know how to hurt someone.
Yeah.
Right? Whether we admit it or not is a different matter. But which guy anywhere, in any room, anywhere in the world will say, no, I don't want to know how to hurt someone. I don't want to know how to be physically competent. I don't want to know how to fight. Every guy in the world will say, yeah. If you could hit a switch right now and he becomes an expert in fighting, which guy is saying no?
Yeah.
If I give you the option of being an expert in cricket, you'll say, oh, well, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Expert
no, I would
in
take it,
anything.
and because I've worked with Virat, I've seen.
But you know what
5 crores, fucking, I want that money. I'll be like, yes, 5 crores a day for shoot.
Yeah, but you get my drift, right?
Yeah.
It's subjective. These things are subjective. But if I ask you, do you want to know how to be physically proficient in a fight? Which guy on earth is saying no?
Yeah.
I can't think of one guy on earth who'll say no. You know, even if you're the most non-violent guy, and guys use that a lot as an excuse. Oh, I'm not violent. So what? You still want to know how to fight. Everybody does. Right? That's why I believe it's so primal, and that's why I believe it's for everybody. I always say that martial arts is for the world. Fighting is not for the world. Right? To be a fighter, you need to be a particular type of person. I'm not saying that with arrogance.
You need to be a psycho.
Yeah, and I'm not saying to be an arrogant bugger. I'm genuinely being true. You need to be a little bit mad in the head.
Correct.
Right? It's not in a necessarily good way. You need to be a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But to be a martial artist, you don't. You need to be a normal guy.
You can be a normal practitioner.
Right.
A girl, boy.
Yeah.
You know, different
And most
age.
of my students are not martial artists. They're lawyers and doctors and engineers.
To feel more confident in yourself and,
Yeah.
to face a tough world out there.
Of course.
Like how we have.
Exactly. So I think it applies everywhere. Not South Bombay, suburbs, doesn't make a difference.
No, it doesn't. I'm just like,
Yeah, but it does apply to
making
answer your
fun.
question. It does apply in South Bombay as well.
Correct.
100%.
amazing.
Yeah.
So the future is bright, man.
Definitely, inshallah.
And we're just gonna look for more of Kazaan Talib,
God bless.
Kazaan Deepa Talib,
Yeah.
full name. And inshallah, you have more belts so that we take a bigger table.
We have more belts, brother.
We also have, I also have, fucking do
Inshallah,
it together,
Yes.
so that we have to take a very, very big table between the belts.
Yeah.
You know,
This table's too small now.
table is, we'll have to make the table small. You've already made it, I have to make it also.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Done. Hey guys, this is Kazaan Talib, the WBC and IBF Muay Thai champion. Please like, subscribe and follow my boy Shakahari. Thanks.